Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty tempting in the tool world. A deal that almost sounds, well, too good to be true.
That's right. We're talking about the VEVOR 13-inch planer.
Yeah, it's priced around, what, $300? And it's making some big claims professional grade stuff for a hobbyist price tag.
Mm,
So our mission today is to figure out if this thing actually delivers or if there's, a hidden catch somewhere. What really happens when a tool promises the moon for so little cash? Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. VEVOR talks about a 13-inch cutting width, which is substantial, and a 2,000-watt motor.
right. Decent specs on paper.
But the real headline grabber, the thing that makes you go, wow, is that spiral cutter head. Now, this isn't your standard setup with long, straight knives.
No, it's quite different. It uses these small, individual carbide inserts
Yeah.
arranged in a helix pattern.
And why is that such a big deal? I mean, why does that usually cost so much more?
Well, the engineering is just, frankly, better for the finish. Those carbide inserts. When one edge gets dull, you just loosen it, rotate it to a fresh edge, and tighten it back up.
Ah, so no replacing or sharpening entire long knives.
Exactly. Much easier, cheaper in the long run. And the big performance win is tear out. On woods with tricky grain, figured woods, this helical design slices cleaner. It dramatically reduces that fuzzy tear out you can get with straight knives.
Smoother finish, longer lasting cutters.
Precisely. That's why you typically pay a premium, often, double the price VEVOR is asking, or even more.
Okay, so the promise is definitely there. Huge value proposition. But here's where things get interesting, and maybe not in a good way. User experiences point to a really consistent problem.
The electrical issue.
Yeah, the electrical gauntlet, let's call it. Multiple users, lots of them, reporting that the 15-amp motor trips their circuit breakers. And not just when they're hogging off tons of wood.
Right, not just pushing it too hard. It's happening during what should be normal operation.
We saw reports like someone running a 6-inch wide piece of maple, taking a light path, and bam, breaker trips, 2/3 of the way through.
And then it happens on the next pass, too, after the first few cuts work okay.
Every single time for some users. Some folks literally had to install a dedicated 20-amp circuit just to keep the machine running without constant interruptions.
Yeah, that's significant. Needing a 20-amp circuit for a tool advertised for 15-amp systems is a major hurdle.
So when you hear that pattern consistent tripping on standard circuits,
Yeah.
what's your first thought, technically speaking?
Well, connecting the dots. First, there's that weird discrepancy in the specs. Sometimes it's listed as 2,000 watts, sometimes 1,800.
Right, I saw that too.
That inconsistency, plus the tripping, it strongly suggests the actual current draw under load is spiking way, way higher than the advertised 15 amps.
So the motor isn't really performing as rated?
It points to either, maybe, a motor design that isn't great at sustained power delivery without overheating or drawing excess current, or, let's be blunt, maybe some creative fiction in those power ratings VEVOR publish. It's drawing more than it should.
So what does that mean for someone who buys this? It sounds like a real mixed bag, a performance paradox.
Exactly, because here's the thing. When people do get it running reliably, maybe after upgrading their wiring,
If they can do that.
right, if they can, but when it runs, that spiral cutter head, it apparently works beautifully. Users report really smooth finishes, that reduced tear out we talked about. Even the noise level is considered pretty acceptable.
And the general build quality, the stand it comes with.
Seems solid for the money based on reports. It's not flimsy. So you have this core component, the cutter head, that's genuinely high performance, wrapped in a package that has this potentially show-stopping electrical flaw.
It's like buying a car with a Formula One engine, but you need a special high-voltage outlet in your garage just to start it. The potential is huge, but the practicality.
Oof is right. And then there's the other shoe to drop, customer service.
What's the story there?
Well, according to user accounts, when people contact VEVOR about these electrical problems, about breakers tripping, they often get, essentially, radio silence, crickets.
No response, or just unhelpful response.
Often just ignored on that specific issue.
Huh.
But here's the kicker. Ask a question about where to buy replacement carbide inserts. You apparently get a prompt, detailed reply.
Oh, wow. That's telling, isn't it?
It's a bit of red flag parade, yeah.
Yeah.
It suggests they might be aware of the electrical issue being systemic, but aren't really equipped or willing to address it head on. They focus on the parts that work.
Okay, so let's try and bring this all together. Our deep dive verdict on the VEVOR 13-inch planer. It's a gamble, a calculated risk.
I think that's fair. It absolutely seems to deliver on the promise of that spiral cutter head performance, which is fantastic at this price.
A big
A very big if. If you happen to have the electrical setup already, maybe a 20 amp circuit in your shop, or if you're willing and able to upgrade it, and critically, if you have the patience for potential troubleshooting.
Because the core technology, that Cutterhead, it sounds like it really does punch above its weight class when it's actually running.
Definitely. The potential for great results is there.
However, and this is the other side of the coin,
Yep.
if you need something reliable right out of the box, plug and play on a standard 15 amp circuit, this probably isn't it.
No. These electrical problems don't seem like isolated lemons. They seem pretty systematic, suggesting maybe some corners were cut in the motor components or quality control to hit that incredibly low $300 price point.
So you're essentially gambling your time, maybe your money on electrical work, against those initial savings. It could be an amazing tool, or it could become your next big headache, a project in itself.
Yeah, less woodworking, more electrical engineering sometimes.
And I think this leaves a really important question for you, the listener, to think about. How much hassle are you willing to put up with? How much of your own time and maybe extra money are you willing to invest to unlock that potential saving on what could be a high-performing feature like this spiral head? Where do you personally draw the line between a fantastic bargain and, well, a hidden cost that just isn't worth it in the end?